Tonight's edition of the Dark Star Effect is for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is advised. It may contain adult material and coarse language.
The show that's been locked in a secret chamber beneath the Sphinx, surrounded by fluoridated water, sold to the Japanese and then bought back at a higher price, then delivered to your radio by unmarked black helicopters. It's the Dark Star Effect.
Welcome to another heart-racing, knob-hardening, knee-trembling edition of the Dark Star Effect. We're here back in the studio with our normal crew. We have no special guests, but that's no reason to tune out because tonight it's coming on thick. It's coming on strong. Do I sound like a DJ, guys?
Yes, you do.
Sound like a DJ. It's coming on strong. You're listening to the Dark Star Effect, where anything and everything can happen. This is a show that turns on the light so that you can see. And as always, hi, my name's Shane. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, studier, investigator of the unexplained, the unusual, the weird, the bizarre. And speaking of the unusual, the weird, bizarre, as always, my co-host, a young man who just discovered what Betamax is.
Ha ha! And yes, Lyndon Brown, NLP practitioner and investigator of the unexplained. And Shane Hill, the only Z-grader celebrity I know who looks like he murdered a homeless guy and stole his clothes. And probably his old friend Stumpy because he didn't give him the best headlines in the business.
Oh, bounce back. What are the
dead air? Well done.
Yeah. What are the headlines?
It was so good that I got him to have dead air.
What are the headlines, Lyndon? What's the news? Let's go to the news. So the mainstream media doesn't want you completely through me, and that is not good. You have destroyed radio. You've destroyed it. That comeback was so good, so precise, so well and cleverly manufactured that you actually made me stop talking.
I'll get on with it.
That is good.
Yep. Fantastic.
Okay.
Can we move along?
Yeah, let's go to the news headlines with Lyndon.
I love mermaid on toast. Plus, unidentified flying stupidity. And more real-life superheroes and their philosophy. All this and more tonight on the Dark Star Effect, the Total Influence Show.
And they say heavy metal makes people commit suicide. I'm just saying.
Welcome back to the Dark Star Effect, the only show that looks at reality, pokes it with a big stick, flips it over to find out what's really going on. Tonight, not only we've got the full crew and we got Monty in, he's going to be talking about his rant and rave that he normally talks about. We're going to look at the world of conspiracy theories. With us again is the mysterious Peter X, and he'll be helping us look at the darker side of human nature. And tonight, you're talking about masculinity. Mm-hmm. So stand by for that. That is going to be good.
Every time you say human nature, I just think of the band. I'm sorry.
The darker side of human nature.
Yeah, I was like,
if they
ooh,
walk
they
on stage
eat
and pull their
cheese.
pants down.
Yeah, the
The anti-human
Ooh, yeah.
nature.
It's when they have a milkshake without ice.
Dun, 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 dun.
But now, as always, let's go to the news headlines with a young man that Stumpy behind the salvo's bin reckons is the best-looking young man in the street. It's
okay, right.
Lyndon.
Yes, mermaid sightings, fellas. Mermaid sightings claimed in Israel August 14, 2009, so it was a while back. Locals of the town of Kiryat Yam have been congregating on the coast in hopes of seeing one of the most beautiful mythological creatures of the sea, a mermaid. The mermaid was first spotted by Shlomo Cohen and a group of friends.
Sorry, Lyndon, sorry.
When they suddenly saw a woman lying on the sand in a weird way.
There was a fish?
Yeah. So
A woman's top naughty bit.
Go, Shlomo.
Yeah, Shlomo and his friends.
Which is a common name.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, remember this is Israel.
Yeah.
They saw the woman lying on the beach in a weird way. At first, they thought she was just another sunbather. But as they approached this sunbather, it leapt up and jumped into the water. We were all in shock because she had a tail. No, because they were in shock and disappointed because they wanted to eat her.
No,
Ouch.
I know what's happened here. A big fish has come out and started eating her, and it's just gotten up to her waist, and it's dived back into the water with her.
I think it was
So instead of rescuing her, they've gone, oh, look at the lovely mermaid, mythical creature.
Yeah, what gave it away was the talking lobster next to her. So
Yep.
And all the little shells going, pick me, pick me.
Okay,
Said the walrus.
here's another quick UFO sighting on 2011. This video of a triangle formation hovering in the night sky was recorded in Latina, the capital of the province of Latina in the Lazio region in central Italy on Friday, 7th January 2011.
Okay, have you seen this video, Lyndon? Is
Yes,
it
I have.
another pinpoint of light zipping around the sky, or is it a UFO?
too much vino could be as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so to say, it's another pinpoint of light just zipping around in the universe.
Just okay, carry on.
Someone a lighter going. "Wee."
Now, guys, last week I did an article on the real-life superheroes, and I thought it's fascinating. So what I've done is
An update, a follow-up.
an update. Yeah, I've been spying on the real-life hero
Well, they're not
superhero
very
community.
good superheroes, and
Yeah.
if a geek like you can spy on them...
Well, I was spying on them in a superhero costume on the internet in my living room.
So hang on, let me say, what you've described then is you've gone into a cupboard, put on a costume,
Yep.
then sat down at the computer in your living room to spy
Yes,
on
yeah.
other guys in costumes.
Yeah, can I have my Wonder Woman costume back? Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay.
This
Now, this
superheroes have changed.
Yeah. Yes.
It's not when I
Go
was a
on,
kid.
go on.
Batman and Robin were two masked vigilantes patrolling the streets at night looking for crime. Now it's a fat guy in his lounge room wearing leather and a mask, looking at other people on the
Yeah.
internet. I'm sorry, Lyndon. Go on. What have you discovered when you were spying on these?
I've discovered
superheroes?
they have a really well-rounded and structured community. They have an actual site that you can go to, superheroregistry.com, and people can dress up in superheroes and
Yeah,
say,
you
know,
can register your
Wrote
superhero.
yourself
You're an
as-
insane nut
Yeah.
job.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
As a superhero, and
Do you have to register your weakness like kryptonite, water, soap?
they do it. They
Speeding
do
lead
it, yeah.
towards the body.
Bullets, tall
That's
things,
what I just said. Tall things.
tall things, so you might fall off them.
Heavy things.
Yeah, heavy. Criminals,
Other people.
because most of them are. I'm sorry, Lyndon. Go on. Yeah.
Okay, now they actually have a philosophy which I'm going to read out to you. So
Ooh.
They've
you
gone
might
that
want to.
deep into this
Yes,
this psychosis. They've come up with a
I'm
philosophy.
sure the lawyer said, no, you need to sort of explain this.
So you might want to listen up very clearly. Now, the first philosophy, there are two philosophies.
Yeah.
The first one is do no harm. Mistakes are unacceptable when one is dealing with matters of life and death. Getting into a battle that will cause potential harm to those involved, but anyone within range of their weapons. Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
They stole that from a movie.
Superman, yes. No non-lethal weapons of apprehending
Spider-Man.
a villain provide an essential safety margin, although even non-lethal techniques can sometimes result in injury or death. Second, sound judgment is always essential to prevent tragedy, unless a superhero chances upon a major crime in progress.
So basically, they can't do anything except give them a stern talking to.
Yeah, you there, stop.
Stop
I
that.
am speaking man.
Yeah.
I have the power of words.
Careful research, planning essentials.
Hang on, research and planning. A bunch of nut jobs in
Yeah.
costumes roaming the streets have got plans and research.
Sounds like
backing them
us.
up. Okay.
Okay, they
We
also
make
have-
no claims to superpowers, though.
They also
Although
have,
the mysterious Peter X has, on occasion, demonstrated some amazing powers. Like
Yeah.
tallness.
they also have fairness, although it may be tempting to pursue petty criminals due to the ease with which they can be found. In many cases, it does not truly serve the cause of justice, nor is it worth the risk. Apprehending prostitutes saves no lives, protects no property, and does not significantly advance the cause of justice. Apprehending casual drug users is also of limited value to society when confronted by essentially victimless crime.
So, in other words,
appropriate-
master super criminals only.
The appropriate
Supervillains,
response,
yeah.
if anything, a warning of stern lecture and not trying
yeah, I
to
knew it.
physically apprehend them. Now, the thing is, we already know that there's some superheroes that completely and utterly do not follow these guidelines or rules
Yeah.
at all, like the guy last week,
Yeah.
Phoenix Jones. He,
Bad superhero.
yeah, on camera, he apprehended a criminal, blatantly admitted to
Arrested
it. Now,
him.
a lot of these guys claim to support the homeless. Have you seen the way some of these guys dress? Like an actual villain out of a horror film. What do you think a homeless guy is going to be thinking when they see some guy like Jason walking down the street?
Yeah.
So they've dropped the whole gay hood ornament look.
Yeah, and the big flowing cape.
Yes. No caps! No caps!
Handbags, everyone. We made a terrible mistake this week, which we'll probably talk about a little bit later on the show. The terrible mistake we made in our research was we sat down and watched an entire series of bum fights. You're listening to The Dark Star Effect. We'll be back after this. Oh dear, don't you know? Welcome to The Dark Star Effect. You know, when I'm working late in the lab, late at night, I always tune in to 99.1 FM and listen to the spooky hour on a Wednesday night. Yes, he does. He does. Okay, as the show progresses tonight...
Ever thought of being deadly earnest?
Yeah, do you remember Deadly Ernest?
Ernie Bourne, Friday nights, Channel O.
Yes, and we would play like pathetic 1950s trash horror.
No,
Second Claw.
When Channel O went to Channel 10, I was 6.
Okay, and also the reason we did that is because tonight apparently there's going to be a full moon. Can someone stick their head out of the studio window and give us a moon report?
It's still light, you fool.
Okay.
There's a big yellow sun type thing in the corner.
A couple of updates. Tonight, I'm going to... Remember my list of the top 10 weirdest, most bizarre, outlandish, totally screwed up sexual practices on the planet?
Yeah.
I've found 10 even worse ones.
Oh,
Ones
okay.
that are even more twisted.
Worse.
More sick. Yeah.
Worse.
Absolutely
Do they beat your
horrible.
practices, Shane?
And not only that, insults that are so devastating, so cutting, so cruel that they've gone around the world and caused wars. Yes.
Something like, you remind me of Shane Warne.
That. Although, even worse than that, at number one of the worst insults that you can possibly hear, this rocked my world. And remember, listeners, as always, everything I say on this show is absolutely true. The worst insult you can hear in Spain is chupe mandacuala del mio culo.
I will
Which
not.
means your hat is slightly tilted to the left.
No, it means suck butter from my ass. That's what it means. Peter, you've got some news for
Why
us.
has your donkey got butter? I don't understand why Anyway.
Yeah, it is from your donkey's bottom.
This is from the Are You Insane file.
Our biggest file.
A owl has been recently taken into custody.
Rubbish.
This is a true story. Police have taken an owl into custody after the bird was found drunk and sitting by the side of the road abusing
Flying
the traffic.
under the influence.
I mean observing the traffic. Observing.
A crunched wing flapping.
a thing or two about ourselves.
I could have been great.
I could have been a
The German police said that the paralytic owl appeared to have drunk too much snaps. Right, where did it get snaps from? I don't know.
Yeah, how do they know that it was
Starlog
drinking
13.
snaps anyway?
From 2 discarded bottles. So it found it went, you know what I'm going to do tonight? I'm going to get smashed.
I reckon there's some deer buying the schnapps for the owl.
Yeah, like
Underage.
a Far Side cartoon. They're sneaking in with it. One's got false ID.
Well, get this. It's like the overnight with drunk people. The brown owl did not appear to be injured and is expected to be released once it sobers up.
Mr. H. Potter would like to pick up the owl.
This is true.
This is a true
This is
story.
absolutely 100%
A woman
true.
walking her dog alerted the police after seeing the bird sitting by the road,
Hey,
oblivious
Blakey.
to passing traffic. Yeah.
No, I meant the dog, woman. Get out of the way.
Yeah, after a 30-second talk with her dog. Yeah. Do you think we should? No, I didn't. Nine.
Yeah, well, they took it to a local bird expert who treated the bird for alcoholism before it was given a lot of water.
Okay,
So it had to go to AA before
No, this
it could...
goes in the archives, mate. This is brilliant.
Well, I
a
could
pissed owl gets arrested.
I could see next week Peacocks on Smack.
Squirrels Gone Wild.
Beyond the line.
Volume 12.
This squirrel's had half a pound of cocaine. What's it look doing with its nuts?
On bum fights? What was the stoner, the guy who was on? He had like had a GI name or a DI. Remember he was trying
Bling, bling.
bling bling.
That's
Bling bling
disgusting.
the air. Well, I love more crack than you can punk and sneak out, and I want
Yeah, bling, bling,
little
gotta have a
kitties.
crack now.
So what's happened is someone's driven past, lobbed some bottles, half-empty bottles out the window of the
Something
car,
like that must have
and
happened.
the owl scored.
Yeah.
I should have been in that movie. I should have been in that movie.
Let's move it along. Have you got more news, Pete?
Yes, a monk has been caught with a nun skeleton at the airport. Figure that out. Figure that out.
How did they know it was a nun skeleton? Didn't he?
The
was it
habit.
still in
Probably. There was a habit on the
still in
skull.
costume.
Yeah, a monk was caught at a Greek airport with the skeletal remains of a nun
Skeletal?
in his baggage. like full on.
Oh, that's
What is this? It's my sister.
No, there's probably 9 others they don't know about. Ones they
Under the
didn't-
monastery, yeah.
Yeah, well, they apprehended the 56-year-old guy and detained him at the Athens airport on Sunday after security staff discovered a skull wrapped in a cloth and skeletal remains in sheets
How
inside
do
his
you
baggage.
explain that through customs?
I have no idea.
You know, oh, no, you want the next guy. He's got dope. He's got dope. Get over there. Yeah, don't look in my bag.
Well, they maintained it was a woman who was a saint. That's apparently...
It was.
He went, yeah.
What did she do?
She died 4 years ago, they figured out, and she was not a saint, but in fact
victim.
just
A victim, yeah.
Yeah, the
She just
victim.
got wrong place, wrong time.
You're listening to the Dark Star Effect. We'll be back after this.
Calling to him.
Oh, let's make this last forever.
More weird, more bizarre, and with a better marketing campaign than Pokemon. It's the Dark Star Effect. Collect the whole set.
I've got confusion.
I've got disinterest.
Welcome back to the Dark Star Effect, the only show where things that go bump in the night actually get invited into the studio. Guys, I have here an updated list of the most weird, unusual, bizarre, and twisted sexual practices from all over the world. Have you guys ever heard of algamatrophilia?
No, but I used it in Scrabble and I won.
And okay, got 3,000 points. Okay. Amalgamatrophilia, or paraphilia, is concerned with the sexual attraction to a statue or doll, a mannequin, or other similar figurative object. The attraction may include the desire for actual sexual contact with the objects, the fantasy of having sex, or even non-sexual encounters with the object. An animation or inanimated instances, or people who do this prefer objects, and they prefer to act watching encounters between objects themselves for sexual pleasure. Allogamatrophilia also encompasses Pygmalionosophia, which I have no idea what. Yeah, all right, you've all got. What?
Just what? And non-sexual what? You know?
Yeah,
we'll
just
we'll just sit here and chat, darling.
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff that happens when you're a kid anyway.
What?
You know, you
Hang on. Hang on. What kind of childhood did you have?
No, people do it all the time as a kid. They pick up the Barbie doll or the, and the,
no.
Are you
no,
both
no,
still
no.
and the Action
complaining?
Man doll, and they start.
This is the bit where you go, or was that only me? Yeah.
There's a Japanese guy who married his pillow because it had a
Yes.
picture of an anime doll on it.
Yes, you can.
And you know, when he goes to the restaurant,
He takes
he
the pillow.
orders his own meal for the pillow. I mean, how hungry is she going to be, really?
She doesn't eat.
That's,
I mean, she may drink or soak it up, but
It's a cheap date. Okay, Pygmalionism, which describes a state of love for an object of one's own creation.
What,
So,
like
you know, you make it yourself. You carve a wooden head out of...
Would that apply to children?
no.
You made him yourself?
Yeah.
Well, no, there's someone else involved. I think you strange hermaphrodite.
Okay. Number 2 on the list, Naitamo Mori.
Nice to meet you.
Female body presentation, or which is often referred to as body sushi, is a practice of eating sashimi or sushi from the body of a typically nude woman. Tantamori refers to the same practice.
Tastes the same.
If you are using a male model. So you could get your chopsticks and pick up the wrong bit of sushi. This sexual fetish.
Oh, look, there's a sausage.
This sexual fetish is a subdivision of something called food play. Now, when I was a kid, food play meant throwing your mashed potatoes at your sister.
Yeah.
I mean, that was...
Or if you Garfield.
If you put that in today's context, that's something you shouldn't be doing with your sister.
Wait a minute.
That's what you called it when you were a kid, throwing mashed potatoes at your sister.
That was what we called it. It wasn't that, but that's what we named it. Okay, there is actually a scientific reason as to why this is preferred, because the human body temperature is actually very close to the temperature required to eat sushi correctly. And before you can become a living sushi platter, a person is trained to lie down.
Oh, wow.
And I'm sure the plate would be really hot.
Yes.
But I can't do that because I use a fork and she's so jumped.
You are also, he or she is also trained to
Focus.
He or she is also trained to be able to remain completely still, like most plates do, and to withstand prolonged exposure to hot and cold food.
Wow.
You must, however, be completely shaved of all body hair.
How big's the dishwasher?
I don't see how this is sex. How is this sex? Eating food off a...
There's a naked chick on the table, man.
Oh, it can be considered foreplay.
Yeah, okay.
Well, that's the dinner part of the evening. We just need a movie and...
Guess where we're going now? Because this, trust me, this list is going to get really weird.
I've got a weather report.
So...
Yes, I went outside and had a look at the moon. It is full, and then there was these 2-3 foot type men just saying 3 days to Mordor. It's a full moon, all right.
It's a full moon. It has that mystical, magical quality to it.
You sure it wasn't a street light?
Speaking of mystical, magical qualities, let's hear from Uncle Monty.
Now on the Dark Star Effect, boys and girls, it's Uncle Monty with What the F***'s Going On?
I should start a toy line, really, with that music. I can't wait till my nephew...
Action, Uncle Monty action figure.
Just is the fist constantly in the air. And I can't wait till my nephew hears it and goes, "You're just wrong." How are you, listeners? Welcome.
Stringing us back and it goes...
I'll have a scotch. Let's see. Today, once again, I went to Infowars.com because, well, that's where the only place you can find this information. Bombshell. Government admits fluoride hurting children. A significant milestone in the fight against fluoride emerged quietly and without major notice from the mainstream news last week. A shock. After decades of ignoring research about the dangers of hailing water fluoridation as one of the 10 greatest health achievements of the 20th century, the government is calling for the reduction of the amount of fluoride it adds in public waters.
What were the other 9?
I don't know. Asbestos. High-speed vehicles towards you. Nicotine's number 1. Just clears the lungs of life. Let's see. Where was I? The reduction of the amount of fluoride it adds to public water supplies, citing its negative effect on teeth, dental fluorosis. Since the 60s, doctors have been saying it's good for teeth by making them disappear slowly through a hole. The first time since 1962, the standard of fluoride will be lowered from 1.2 to 0.7 milligrams per litre. Because fluoride from water builds up over time in the human body, this reduction will not eliminate the dangers of fluoride, which include, here we go, this is the list, include the risk of bone cancer, bone fractures, thyroid disorder, brain inflammation, lowered IQ and mental functions, sterility or reduced fertility, and more. However, it's a good sign that the powers that be are losing ground on the fluoride debate. Further, the reduction of fluoridization is proof that the warnings from activists, critics and health professionals have been heard after all. And basically, if we all become one and start going, no, they'll listen to us because they're actually scared of the general population. Many of those health professionals who have been blowing the whistle on fluoridization for decades are employees or union contractors of the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, and other government regulation agencies. Their objections based on alarming scientific studies, such as the one linking... hello. Yes, that's well timed, sir. I see why you run a comedy room. Fluoridization with a 7-fold increase of bone cancer for boys have been almost wholly ignored until now. One reason for this government's omission, by the way, likely has to do with the limiting liability for those harmful effects or even the establishing immunity for districts who adhere to the following of fluoride standard against future claims to harm. At the same time, hundreds of other chemicals, including many toxic ingredients like lead, arsenic, radium and uranium, have also found in public drinking water.
You're kidding.
No. Actual Today Tonight have done a 6-minute story on this. And there's lead, arsenic, everything else, as well as sodium fluoride, which is used in rat poison. Lyndon.
I'm wondering, Monty, if when they put this fluoridization, is that it? Fluoridization?
Yes.
In the water, do they actually put it in the Coke soft drinks that you get like McDonald's or the superstores?
Well, they use water, I imagine.
Yeah,
but they're two different things, the water and the fluoridization.
There's, if you use NutraSweet and fake sweetener, there's aspartame or something like, I can't really say it properly because I keep forgetting it. That also causes much more damage. But, that's another time, ladies and gentlemen. Where was I? Drinking. Many of these dangerous toxins are put in the water as part of the fluoride cocktail administered in the many municipalities across the United States and other Western countries, or leached into the supply by acidic levels of fluoride. If you actually look at your toothpaste, it says do not swallow more than a pea. If you do, you have to ring the poison line. Lyndon.
So if you're a nut job, you can actually get fluoride cocktails. Go to the bar, can I get a fluoride cocktail?
Yeah, and they'll give you a tap water. People, what do you want to drink? I've got. I said this to Mum. Mum said, "What do you want to drink? Do you have rainwater? No, I've got tap water. Oh, trying to kill me, eh? Yes. So cocktails. I like that. Where was I? Fluoride. The compound is often not simply sodium fluoride, but a mixture of toxic waste byproduct created in the process of scrubbing phosphate fertilizer plants and other high industry applications such as aluminium, because we're Australian, we don't say aluminum, which is American. While fluoride is scheduled for the reduction in public water supplies, it is... Oh, I need to go to the toilet. It is still very common and often dangerously concentrated in many food products at the levels of many more parts per million than water, and in pesticides used on food production and in the soils where pesticides are used. Further, as the advisors to the government bodies around the world attempt to argue forced mass medication by adding substances like lithium to public water, that's the next step. They want to actually start...
Lithium, that's what they use in batteries.
Yeah, basically.
Yay.
Yeah.
Is this real?
Yeah.
Are they doing this to us?
Yeah. There's been reports that finally the state of Texas has been putting uranium in the water for the last 20 years, because where they get the fluoride is from the same place where the isotopes is actually in the water.
Yeah, well, these people can suck butter from my arms.
Quick, get the donkey. Let's see. We must argue against forced consent and demand one of our most integral human rights, that no government or of man can make a law to force medicate us against our will. We have a human right to say no, especially when we know better. So there you go. You can check this out on the web. Just put in fluoride in the water, and we're slowly
Go
dying.
to Infowars.
Infowars.com or prisonplanet.com.
Any more?
Oh yes. Do you want the funny bit or the Facebook bit?
Give us the Facebook bit first, because it's more along like, I mean, there's no actual humour on this show, so let's go to...
We'll go to the fast book. This is from MX, so it's so true.
Bastion of good journalism.
Oh, yes.
Actually, you'd be surprised. All they do is rip off articles and stories from other places. So this could
Sounds
be
like
legit.
us.
So they're like us.
Yeah, it sounds like us, yeah.
We are the MX of radio.
Dun, dun, free every day at your station. Facebook billionaire Mark Zuckerberg is saving on rent with his new home in California, a modest 2-story house in a suburban street. Well, he's rich. Why would you throw away all the money?
But why would you rent?
Who knows? Maybe he needs to leave quickly. The founder of the social networking site, who is said to be worth $10 billion, could have been forgiven for moving into a luxurious, sprawling mansion as his next step up in the property ladder. But he's basically instead plumbed for a $1.5 million 5-bedroom house. That's, he's slumming it with $1.5 million. Yeah. Now, in the article...
He's only got 3 spas.
And
And how many people are living in there?
Yeah, just him and his girlfriend, apparently. But halfway through the article is a bit of information which is kind of interesting. It's like Zuckerberg, who was named by Time magazine as the most influential figure on the planet, earlier this month doubled his wealth after a huge cash injection into the company by investment bank Goldman Sachs.
And who are Goldman Sachs?
Goldman Sachs is one of the big 6 mega mega banks that are basically trying to take out or trying to take over the world. They're part of the elite and also part of the Reserve Bank in the United States.
What's wrong? Are they listening?
Yeah,
Yes,
they're
of course
listening.
they're
Yes.
listening.
There's also another article in MX, which the headline is "US can't share Facebook."
What did you say?
US
The
can't-
US are what?
You can't share.
Oh, I thought you said something else. Go on. Yeah.
United States of America cannot share
That's better.
Facebook.
Now I understand.
All right, US clients will be excluded from a private offering up to $1.5 billion in Facebook shares amid intense media attention. New York firm Goldman Sachs, that name again, said the move would only allow the shares to be bought offshore, was prudent as exposure in the US, in the States, could lead to problems with US compliance laws. So, and now Goldman Sachs is an offshore bank. So, the plot thickens, my friends.
Really?
Yes, and
You've just been listening to Uncle Monty.
I haven't finished yet.
There's more. Oh, my
Yes.
God.
Comedy
Basically,
side to it.
no, well, yeah, I'll make a laugh. I saw The Social Network.
The
movie.
That's
Yeah.
fun,
Yeah,
yes.
right, yeah.
Yeah, the soundtrack's good. But
Was it in 3D like everything else this year?
no, I don't think. I
No,
don't
it's a
think it
cartoon.
was. It's
So the
just-
point of it
it's
was-
a cartoon. Trent Reznor won Golden Globe Award for the best soundtrack. But Facebook is basically one massive collection of information. And if Goldman Sachs, which is part of the elite, are investing in it, why are they doing that apart from collecting all the information?
Okay.
Yes. Now I've finished.
Now you're finished. Wind him out. At
any moment now.
Do you even have sign-out music?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do.
I wonder where it is.
Normally-
I have every other
normally
week.
Yeah, every single other week.
We've got the producer here shitting himself because we've just said Goldman Sachs about 8 times. He's having a heart attack. You've been listening to Uncle Monty and you are listening to the Dark Star Effect. Just before we go to the break, I have another international insult from Spain. Me cago en la leche, which means...
I slept with your mother.
No, it's even worse than that. It means I've just shit in the milk. You're listening to the Dark Star Effect.
Oh my.
Poppin', droppin', droppin' low. Baby, let me love you down.
I could use a dream or a genie or a wish by the end of the night.
Guys, I am continuing my updated list of weird, strange things that people do in the privacy of their own homes.
What about the sex thing?
Well, yeah, okay. Okay, pony play. Now, when I first
Hey,
read this,
hey.
I thought it involved large four-legged animals in the bedroom, but it doesn't. Pony play is a form of bondage that involves a pony and a rider. So, yeah, the pony is often outfitted with straps, a leather saddle, binder's reins, and a bit in the mouth. A bit of what?
So basically, you're committing if you want to do this.
You wear a big pony head on your head.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
like a panto. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. And have you ever played the back end of a pantomime donkey? No.
What did you call me?
Have you ever played the front end of a pantomime donkey? Anyway,
Have you seen
the
Top
rider-
Secret?
The rider, sometimes utilising either a riding crop or a whip, either gets pulled on a cart or rides the pony directly. Where do these people come up with this stuff? The principal theme of animal role play is usually the voluntary or involuntary reduction or transformation of a human being to animal status and focus on the altered mind space created. The most common examples are probably canines, puppy dogs, wolves, felines, cat, kitten, lion, or equines, ponies, and horses.
Wolves? What do you know how hard it is to catch a wolf?
With humans' ability to contact the universe, you'd think they have better things to do
I don't
on
think
their
these
time.
people are contacting reality at
I
all.
think too much tap water.
Speaking of animals, mysterious.
Yes, I've got another news article, and this one is a cat has been ordered to court for jury duty.
Hey!
It just keeps coming tonight,
Put
doesn't
your
it?
left paw on the Bible.
Yeah. A pet cat has been ordered to report for jury duty despite being unable to speak and understand English. So,
Really?
And
wow.
Find the
yeah.
defendant.
And I bet it's going to sleep through the court case as well.
Who's the judge? The cat lady from The Simpsons?
Yeah.
Go on.
All rise.
If the matter was not resolved, Sal the cat would would have reported to Supreme Crown Court in Boston, United States, in March 23rd, and would have been sentenced to jail. So,
excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt. Can you imagine putting a cat in a jail cell?
Yeah.
He'll just walk straight through the bars.
Imagine him walking off the bus and be like, "Hey, you finally got some pussy."
A cat in a jail cell. I reckon it's more fun putting a cat in a blender.
Oh, that sounds. Oh, it reminds me of bagpipes.
spoiled
Yeah, bagpipes sound like a. Sorry, Pete. Keep going.
Yeah, anyway, so this cat had to go to jury duty, but they figured out that, hey, wait a sec, he's a cat, he's got 4 legs, doesn't talk English,
Doesn't have a voice
our
box.
bad. It's not the dumbest thing that's ever happened
And I
in the
don't
government, so...
I don't get asked for jury. Well, we'll just take house.
You know, the
pets now.
funniest thing is none of us were surprised that the government did that. We just laughed at it like, ha, ha, ha.
Everyone has to do their bit.
The pussies of the quarter, would you please tell us how you find the drunk owl?
I'm not sure he wants to answer that, my lord. Death by kitty.
Okay,
I
more,
now sentence the owl to the jury box.
Yeah. I now send this to the owl to the cook.
more insults in Spanish. Me cago en tu sei motros. Any guesses on what that is?
Hey, baby.
No? En cago en tus motros.
Something about unloading a ship.
Close. I've just unloaded a big brown one on your dead relatives. Or I shit on your ancestors. How low is that?
The first one's funnier, I think.
Yes.
In Spanish.
I do a poo on your ancestors.
So your granddad yesterday, mate.
Our continuing list of bizarre, weird, outlandish and completely stupid sexual fantasies. The next one, cannibal fantasies. On the Deviant Desires website, based on the book of the same name, Catherine Gase explains that some people actually bring their fantasies to life in consequence of role-playing. One of her friends painted a woman's nude body with dotted lines to present cuts of meat. One very tasteful website, Mushi's Kitchen, features photographs of female bodies trussed up and in pans with vegetables ready to be fried, or stuffed with apples, carrots and every possible orifice. How do these people come up with this?
How is that sexual? That's more of a food thing, really. It's eating.
It is sometimes more commonly known as erotic feeding or messy fun.
Messy fun.
Wait. So they're eating the woman.
No, they're pretending to be cannibals.
Okay.
You know, I mean...
I'm a vegetarian, but that sounds like fun.
Tell you what, Monty has found something today to do with marbles.
Yes. On that...
Explain what it is first.
I will. It is a prize from a bonbon from that lovely Common Era Day. Or Christmas Day, basically.
Xmas.
God love those pagans.
You popped open the...
Yeah, basically smelled a bit of gunpowder, opened up, got a hat that didn't fit.
Yeah.
And it's the Super Marble Game. And
Marble Game.
Yes, you can...
it's
exciting.
Plastic.
Yeah, you're basically flicking the balls and you get it's like, oh, look, 60,
Kind of a cross
120.
between pinball,
Yes.
and that thing where you put a coin in, it goes down all the slots.
Yes, basically. So I'll just read the back to you and see if you can spot the problem. Intelligent Marble. Intelligence add lucky. A game of marbles. Marble is a kind of game that is very modern now. It collects excitement, fascination. It's very interesting game. It can not only trains lovers' skill and intelligence, but also is a best way for lover to make friends. It's an intelligent game for family to be happy field. Spring your miracle competition your level. Surpass yourself intelligence and skill through a series of intelligent competition actions. Competition your intelligence and your skill. Participate in together. Playways. 1. The two parties will judge winning or losing according to highest grand total. The one who gets the highest grade is big winner. 2. Before a game begins, players may also engage to shoot the 5 provided plastic teased pearl early or late, getting grand total. We winner according to how many points it can reach. Made in China.
Which problem are you talking about? Okay, 1, 2 questions. What
These are the
date are they
instructions on the back on how to play this bit of plastic.
What date are they intending this for, and what country? Obviously not Australia or America.
Yeah, I just like why was it made? I think that's the problem. Because it's
Marbles.
you would file it under crap.
In the
60s. Got it. Phone. There's her ring.
You need to rate
A bit of a Lyndon's
thing.
Yeah, it did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Oh, let's get the wah-wah pedal out.
Yeah, die.
I'd like to say hello to all my friends who actually...
Darkstarentertainment.org.
We now have listeners in all over the place. We used to have listeners just in California and so forth. Now people are listening to us in Taiwan.
Oh, Taiwan.
Yeah, which is probably where
Everywhere.
connection to that marble.
I love your work, Taiwan.
Yes, thank you for listening.
Yes.
And, of course, all the other places as well. And there was one other place I forgot. I think it was Tanzania.
Tanzania. Oh, really?
I think that's pretty cool.
Oh, somewhere in the Middle East.
There was
People
somewhere in the Middle East who was listening to us
Cool.
as well. Peter, you've got more news.
Yes, imagine this, if you will, of a hunter's gone hunting.
Yeah.
He's going through the brush and the bush, and he's pushing all aside, and he sees a fox. So he gets his gun, has a shot, drops the fox, right? He walks over to finish off the fox by trying to hit it with the butt of his rifle, and all of a sudden, the fox grabs the gun and caps him. Because that's exactly what happened in Moscow. A wounded fox shot its would-be killer by pulling the trigger on the hunter's rifle as the pair scuffled after the man tried to finish the beast with the butt of the rifle. So he went to hit it and it went,
I can see the court case now. Your Honour, my client was in self-defence.
Get
What
this,
does the cat say?
Meow. The cat does
Get this, the unnamed hunter, no wonder he's unnamed. Here we go, yeah, this fox, he just
I
capped
would
me.
not admit it was me for starters.
I think his name is Dick Head.
Where'd you get that bullet hole from? Oh, it's a friend of mine.
I tripped over a rake.
Yeah. Well, the unnamed hunter who had approached the fox after wounding it from a distance, he was in hospital for a leg wound while the fox made its escape. So not only did he...
So scarping as
Viva
well.
the revolution of the animals.
Yeah, so he was like in and out, got the job done.
I just can
Probably
see,
the ex-wife.
I'm
can see
getting
him
a
just-
theme here tonight.
I can see him just going, this is for my brother.
Yeah. So-
Yeah, well, I'm not going near a sheep because I'm sure it's got a flick knife and it's like, you want some of my wool, man? I'll cut you. I will cut you.
You're looking at me? You're looking at me? But there's nobody else here but me.
You've got a fan.
Oh, who's
yeah.
that?
Fan.
Hello? I want to know why.
So you're not getting out the shovel and digging a hole, Shane?
No, I don't. Okay, just before we go to the break, pseudo-necrophilia.
Pseudo?
Unlike necrophilia, pseudo-necrophilia is actually legal, and that is not necessarily a good thing.
Necessarily?
Yeah, it is quite simple. Actually, one partner remains very quiet and still, while the other partner pretends that they are dead.
Oh, so that's a
I've heard
married
of
couple. Oh,
The other
it's a
part-
married couple.
And for added... But wait.
That's great.
Yeah,
So what
stroke him
you're saying
again,
is-
take that.
What you're saying is this is normal.
Yeah, honey, no.
Okay. For added realism, one partner can lay in cold water for up to an hour before the act of coitus begins. This particular practice met with some notoriety thanks to in the show Law and Order in the Special Victims Unit show, where they did a feature on pseudo-necrophilia. You're listening to the Dark Star Effect. We'll be back in a minute with the darker side of human nature as we delve even deeper into it with the mysterious Peter X. Thanks for listening.
You may have been unaware of its approach.
How the hell do we wind up like...
More weird, more bizarre, and more full of itself than the bakery next to Jesus' carpentry store.
Oh, he was a very nice boy, very quiet.
It's the Dark Star Effect, the only show where things that go bump in the night actually get invited into the studio. I got. That's really bad English, isn't it?
I got it.
I have
Me speak good, eh?
a message from Boxing On Saturdays this week. They're paying tribute to
Cold Chisel and Sherbet.
Cold Chisel and Sherbet. Now, why would they be doing that, Mike?
Well, unfortunately, in the last week, both bands have lost members.
They just lost, couldn't find
No,
him?
yeah, he's down the back of the couch next to Jesus. No. The drummer passed away, I think, from a cancerous tumour, which he was diagnosed 2 weeks ago. So
That's quick tumour.
the rest of the band's actually quite in shock because they've been recording since they're reunited. And I'm not sure of how the guitarist from Sherbet passed on, but he has. So that just leaves us who's the third one?
Bet?
No, but I can give you a wish list.
Okay, for all this and more, the details, Lyndon, go.
Well, Well, I've got a message that I've actually got to give to you, Shane. It's from Centrelink. You've got another appointment.
Yeah, I appear there too.
Yeah, I was going to say something important. For all the details, tune in Saturday to Boxing On with Dougie and Robbie, and you'll discover everything there is to know about the inner world of rock and roll, the Australian music industry. Guys, have you ever heard of sarsaparilla?
Isn't that a character from Shakespeare's play? Or
no, it's a weird sexual practice, which is in a lot of Shakespeare's plays.
Yes.
Sarsaparophilia is a sexual fetish or paraphernalia that involves deriving erotic pleasure from soiling or disheveling the objects of one's desire, usually an attractive person, although they wouldn't be that much attractive after you.
This
is weird.
Let me say, let me translate it for you. You get drunk and then sit on the girl.
No,
Right.
no, you're close, but this involves tearing or damaging their clothing, covering them in mud or filth, and messing up their hair or makeup, tasseling their hair.
Excuse me.
You look so good like a bum. You look so good.
I've just had a message from our lawyers. That's assault.
Yeah, that's the fetish does
She's
not.
going, assault
no,
me, assault me, assault
I read
me.
on.
Ooh,
The fetish does not involve harming or injuring the subject. Only their appearance, making them look homeless, is a preferred
so
option.
it's fashion assault.
Yeah, fashion assault. There you go. The fetish sometimes manifests itself in defacing of statues or pictures of attractive people. Like cutting their eyes out.
I'm hoping you're talking about the statues.
Put him on the wall, especially celebrities. The fetishist finds this sexually exciting rather than mere vandalism. They sometimes form collections of defaced art for future enjoyment.
I feel weird because I just like missionary.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, it sounds like the
In
next
a bed.
step after this, it would be serial killing.
Yeah, the next step up. I've done this, Master. What do I now? You take this butcher knife.
And thank you, my lord dog.
Dyslexic too.
Yeah. Okay, we are now going, once again, even deeper into the psyche, the human psyche, with the mysterious Peter X.
Extreme! Extreme! Extreme!
Yes, it is extreme as we delve into taboos for this week. But first of all, delve. Yeah.
Delve.
You
Same shit, different smell.
He's been hanging out with dolphins.
Yeah.
You bogan.
But before we get into taboos this week, we've got some letters.
Oh, okay. I
It's
forgot about
mail time.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Now, Len from Ross, I have no idea where that is, says, more alien stuff, please.
Done.
Yep.
Next
Done and
week.
done.
Was that all in caps,
Done
or
and
you just like yelling at me?
I just like yelling.
Next
Okay.
week, aliens all week. Guys, remember that.
Okay.
Bring your alien stuff. In fact, we might even get an alien into the studio.
To
More about
interview
that.
it. Or a cat dressed as
so
an alien.
there's Elf, that short ET guy.
No, I'll explain. I'll explain later.
All the
You're a
famous
special
aliens?
guest.
Anyway, Joan from Taz says, can you do a show on women?
No.
No.
We want to live.
We do it on the ground here normally. If we start doing it on women, we're going to get really, really
We
weird.
will eat sushi off a woman.
And Matt from the CBD says, if I have a question, where do I send it? Shane?
Is that a question?
Well, the same place you sent the letter, idiot.
Is that your question?
Why didn't you just send the question?
I love saying.
I don't know.
People go, "Can I ask you a question?" Is that the question?
Where can I send a question? Who's this knob again?
Met. It's
Met.
Met.
Oh, no, that explains everything.
Hang on, what? The entire transport system is sending us.
If your parents are that disabled, all they can come up with for your name is Met, then you have your problems don't begin.
Do you know how that happened? The doctor goes, "Meet your daughter." No, I like Matt better.
I have met that already. Peter, go on.
you guys have thrown me completely off, man. I don't even know what's
Score
going
two,
on.
Lyndon. You're next.
Masculinity.
Anyway, let's go into masculinity.
Let's do that.
Now,
This will interest you,
I've
Lyndon.
heard a bit of myths and all this sort of thing
There you go,
about
the myth of
whether or not masculinity is dying. I've heard a lot of comedians and a lot of people talk about, masculinity, it's gone, it's gone. Well, guess what? It's already dead, and it's been dead for thousands of years, because I'm about to tell you why. This is why. When you think of masculinity, you picture a person in a wife-beater singlet with that checkered shirt on, thongs in, a beer in the hand, sitting there at the local pub trying to give a lecture to young boys about how to be masculine, how to be a man, and you often hear, you're not a man until you have your first beer.
That's a yobbo.
It's still classed as the masculinity type
We're
of
talking
thing.
about the majority.
Yeah, the commercial masculine look.
Sorry, you're interrupting.
And you also get people say, you're not a man until you have sex. You also get another guy who will go, you're not a man until you get a job. But I have never heard a guy ever say, you're not a man until you emotionally, physically, and mentally perfect yourself, therefore be the best you can be. I've never heard it.
We kill those people. You're evolving. Come here, Stab.
Yeah, I've never heard, you're not a man until you make sure you teach and support your children so they have the best start to life. Never heard it. I've also never heard, you're not a man until you help join together others and cure any disease, illnesses, or plagues known to humanity. Never, ever heard it. But this is the question, what is masculinity? Can you tell me, Lyndon? What do you think masculinity is? What would you depict?
No, Lyndon, that's you.
You actually had a good description of masculinity.
Yeah. And Monty, would you agree with that?
I would say being male.
Yeah, Shane, what do you think?
I can't really define.
He's stuck in the lab.
Anyway, I broke down what masculinity means to me.
I've got a jar of masculinity right here.
And what
that's mescaline. Sorry.
I made it in my amphetamines lab.
Anyway, I broke down what masculinity means, and this is what I came up with. It's control over your own success. Now, if you get on Wikipedia, I love Wikipedia, they explain stuff really, really well, real basic stuff, but really good. It says anybody with honourable intentions. Well, that's bullshit. That's so airy-fairy, I can't even get over it. What's an honourable intention? That's just completely to an individual. I could say slapping my mum across the face is an honourable intention. If I believe it, it becomes an honourable intention. It's crap. What masculinity is controlling your own success, right? So to control your own success, you need to do, learn, and apply everything that will make you successful in the areas you desire. Because this is how it used to work. In the past, if we did not treat our property right, it would leave us the first chance it get. So imagine when men actually thought and figured out how to do this. You get Ugg rock up with a bunch of flowers and all the other cavemen are like, oh, look at this poofter. But he'd be pulling all the women, treating them right, treating them fair.
Not hitting them over the head with a club.
Yeah, no, none of that would have happened. So now being close to this, masculinity has evolved over time. It started off as, hitting a girl over the head, dragging her off, as you said, Monty. But then it's evolved because society's evolved, that we live really, really close together and we don't live long distances away. So the point being is that the things that make somebody masculine aren't there anymore because people think that they've already got control, but they don't. When you look at it, masculinity, most guys don't have control. Only thing they've got control of is what day they're going to pull themselves. That's it. That's really...
And generally they don't have control of that.
I know that day. Yeah. It's every day.
Yeah. So the question is,
of control.
Yes.
Yeah. So the question is,
master of my own domain.
Yeah. Well,
if we have no real control in the world and masculinity in the world is not there anymore, how long do we expect the race of humanity to live? I guess that's up to you, isn't it?
Deep. You're listening to the Dark Star Effect. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to the Dark Star Effect, the only show that has to apologise every time it's on the air.
Sorry.
More insults from around the world. You're not going to believe some of these. These are from Bulgaria. I'm almost reluctant to read this one out. Apparently in Bulgaria, it is an insult to say Maka di tirado na meki ve gotea, which means your mother performs fellatio on big black bears in the forest. And also from Bulgaria. Now this next one is like really, really insulting. I would feel crushed if someone in Bulgaria said to me, Grosna sikato salata, or you're as ugly as a salad.
You, sir, are a side dish.
I've seen better side dishes than you.
Yeah, I just thought of Yogi Bear with the first one, so I'm not watching that now.
Okay, let's go back to the list, the incredible list of weird and bizarre, totally outrageous sexual practices that you can find all over the world. I talk now of autopedestry. Anybody got any clues, or would you take a wild guess?
Okay.
Right,
it's petting a pet in a car.
Wrong.
No.
Totally wrong. Mr. Producer, have you got any ideas what autopedestry is?
Yes.
Moving on.
Yeah.
When you're automatically patting someone on the head, just continuously patting them on the head.
You are weird beyond belief. If that gets you charged, that is it. Auto-pedestry is the near impossible, I repeat, near impossible act of sticking one's own fully erect naughty bits up one's own rectum.
Oh, my God. Turning yourself into a pretzel.
There are only a small percentage of people that can do this.
So basically, it's go love yourself.
Yes, okay. It is impossible. There is.
Have you tried?
There's actually a porno called Go Love Yourself, which is devoted to the act. Oh, this is where
You're not reading.
Who thinks this stuff up?
Who decides to put it on the radio?
Okay, autofellatio is when a man can give himself and auto. No, I'm not going to read the rest of this. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one.
Bill
Mummification.
In other words, he does a Marilyn Manson.
No, Marilyn Manson did not have 2 ribs removed, so he can do that.
He was a
Mind you, Bill Hicks thinks that's our next evolutionary step. We'll have an extra vertebrae so he can.
Yeah, most politicians already are. Okay.
Sing!
Mummification. Any guesses on what mummification
You do
is?
it with an Egyptian?
Let me read. No, you don't do it with an Egyptian. Mummification is a BDSM bondage practice involving restraining a living person's body in a non-damaging way by wrapping it head to toe or neck to toe in materials like saran wrap, cling wrap, or that stuff you... What's that?
You're a good boy, Bubby.
I was going to say, well,
say no more.
Getting to logically, just it doesn't. Where would you? Yeah, moving on.
Okay, Peter, you've got some more mysterious news.
Yes, get this. Trapped burglars called the police for help.
Our biggest file.
2 would-be thieves called in their own crime to the police after they got stuck in the elevator for a whole weekend. They cracked under the pressure and they go, "Oh, can you come get us? We sort of robbed the place and got stuck." This sounds really dumb, one of the thieves told the police. He goes, "Look, you're really not going to believe this, but we're sort of stuck in the elevator. But I'm afraid that we wanted to break in and the elevator has gotten stuck. So now
we're rescuing a cat, an owl, and 2 ponies."
Oh, just think of the first half-hour conversation between those 2. You're an idiot. No, you're an idiot.
More insults, this time from China and spoken in Mandarin. These phrases are very, very offensive. Nidi mushin shiga usu wuke means your mother is a big turtle. You're listening. You're listening to the Dark Star Effect. We'll be back after this. Hopefully we'll be back.
Easier.
That was Hyperdrive by Devin Townsend Project from the album Addicted.
Welcome back to the Dark Star Effect. Remember, dear listener, this show revolves around your input. If you've had something weird, unusual, bizarre, or totally out of the ordinary happen at your place, like a Bigfoot has trundled through your backyard, or you've found a Loch Ness monster in your pool, or woken up with a crop circle in your chest hair, we want to hear about it. You can contact us by going to www.darkstarentertainment.org.
Yep.
Join, and then from there you'll be able to find all kinds of links to the stuff that we're talking about, and we're going to update, I promise this time, we're going to update the site regularly.
We've already started.
Talk about that sort of stuff. Let's go to more international insults that'll drop you in your tracks. We're staying for a little while in China. Mandarin, these are things that you would say in Mandarin that are really, really rude. Like, for example, choi ya dai. Choi ya dai. Any guesses on what that is?
Sounds like a dish.
Close. Choi ya dai translates into English as your wife is a smelly slave wench.
Hello. Yeah.
And actually, they haven't given the translation here, but apparently in China, if you say that somebody's wearing a green hat, it is the most insulting thing you can do. Can you think why?
Because it's bad luck.
No, even worse than that. Green hats are traditionally worn by male brothel workers.
Oh.
So if you tell somebody that they have a green hat, let's go back to the list of really bizarre, wacky, way out, weird predictions for the year 2011.
Okay, now, most apparent psychics at the beginning of every year make claims and predictions of the coming future. Now, this guy named Alizon, whoever the hell that is...
I am Alizon.
He's,
I can see the future.
He's stuck up some predictions for 2011. And most of these predictions by people don't qualify because they just don't.
Hey, the 20-sided dice is a very, very good way of figuring out...
Yeah, I rolled a triple die. The Dragon of Endor's going to
the Dragon of Endor.
Return.
I've met her. She's very nice.
She will return.
Okay, a celebrity will lose their life as a result of an avalanche at a European ski resort.
Okay, all celebrities that are listening now, do not go to a European... That way the prediction can't come true.
Yeah. Or, near snow.
Yeah, go anywhere near snow.
It'll probably only come true if she actually grabs the whoever they are and bring it to European resort and blow the European resort up.
Yodels on one side.
Oh, so basically it's the predictor's hit list. We're going to lose a celebrity. I'm going to meet him and take him to Europe.
Yeah. Okay, the next one. Japan will suffer 3 big earthquakes.
Yeah, but they do that every year.
I know this one. Yeah. 3 sumos fall over.
Or if that's someone's hit list, then they've obviously got a lot of technology on their hands.
Yeah. It's probably harp, but move on.
Okay, new excavations will uncover treasures in Egypt.
Yeah, but that happens every year too.
It's been going for a while now, I think.
Every time you dig in Egypt, you find some dead guy.
Okay,
I want to make
or
house,
some woman wrapped up in cling wrap.
I make house, but there's crap everywhere. Who put this stone here?
Okay, obviously this never happens. A shootout at a restaurant in a major US city will see many dead. I can't believe that will happen. I can't believe it.
Not in America, no.
Yeah, not in America.
Apparently in America, one guy gets shot every 2 minutes. I would have ducked after the first couple of times. Who is this guy?
That's great.
Nerves hurt, man. Nerves hurt.
Okay, an oil tanker will spill its load, causing major environmental damage, infecting the Indian Ocean.
Like, that doesn't happen either. What? These aren't predictions.
What? The pirates are going to go, oopsie, crash.
Yeah. Now, the last one on the list, 3 sets of octuplets will be born this year.
Didn't that
to the same woman, or is this going to be at least more than 24 babies? Yeah. So I've got a prediction
same
for
woman.
you.
Yeah, go on.
Cole Sanderland's going to get another TV show cancelled.
Oh, that's psychic. And sad. Sad that they even gave him one that they would be able to...
Yeah, well, basically, any bets on which one? Let's choose.
Yeah. I have a
Shane Warne will take more drugs.
Yeah, there you go.
And meet a lot of women.
And treat them like princesses.
Yes. And give them a mobile phone. Does he have a sponsorship with a telecommunication?
He's got a contract with a hair company and a mobile phone company.
And he sells a burger with that restaurant with the clown.
Yeah, okay. Let's return now to where I was going before, to the list of weird, wacky, bizarre, unusual and totally outlandish sexual practices or fetishes. Any guesses what entomophilia is? I have covered this before.
That still sounds like a Shakespearean move.
Yes.
You're going to enter who?
Entomophilia?
Entomophilia.
Oh, entomophilia.
Yeah,
entomophilia almost sounds like someone with like antelopes on their head.
I repeat,
antelopes, not antelopes.
This stuff, Lyndon.
Don't put antelopes on your head; they're heavy.
From a very vivid imagination.
Obviously, the words erotic and vomiting should not be mixed in the same sentence.
Yeah, there's a look.
Yeah, okay, that's what entomophilia is. It's blowing chunks.
The wrong use of words.
However, the words erotic and vomiting do have similarities. Both trigger and release the hormones that make you feel better.
What?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, strangely enough, if I take the pillow off your face, you feel better.
Both are caused by the same stimulus. Well, for men at least, anyway. Okay, both involving having fluids forced down from a tube out. No.
Our legal team's not doing its job today, I tell you.
I apologise. Listeners,
moving on.
Any guesses? The last one for the night. What is GFDL?
Letters.
GFDL. Yeah, we know they're letters, but what is it?
GFDL.
Its other name it's known by is teratrophilia.
You dig a hole in the ground.
No, it is the sexual attraction
of
to
dinosaurs.
deformed or monstrous people.
Dinosaurs.
Mystery X.
Have you got more news, Peter?
Yes?
Yes,
I do.
I thought you might.
Yes.
Now, this goes into a little bit darker territory, so brace yourself for this.
Strap yourselves in.
Get ready, listener.
A man has told police he murdered his pregnant wife with an axe because he wanted the fetus to make as a lucky charm that would help him win the lottery.
Yeah, I saw that, and I chose not to read it.
That works, yeah.
This is what a report said on Tuesday. The 38-year-old man was arrested a day after he'd allegedly lured his wife, 24. How hard would it be to lure her? Can you just come into the kitchen for a sec, love?
That's not luring.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
What do you think of this?
Anyway, and he killed her with an axe, a blow to the back, and she's dead. And the fetus has not been found.
Yeah, it's on his necklace. That's where they need.
It's around his neck.
It's next to the rabbit's foot. It's next to the rabbit's foot.
Or a leprechaun stole it to, even out his own luck.
This guy should hang out in the House of 1,000 Corpses.
Yeah, the murderer confessed to the terrible crime, but he wouldn't explain where the body of his unborn child was. So that's it. That's pretty dark. But
Yeah, thanks for that, Pete.
We just got an email come down the line from one of our dedicated listeners. Guys, it's hard to believe that anyone consent to this crap and allow it to go on air. Of course, considering the existence of the truly sick, institutionalised, misogynist society that we currently live in, I am not surprised that you have managed to degrade. I'm not going to read this.
Keep going. Go.
You've committed.
To degrade radio to the lowest level possible. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, woo! We did our part.
Well,
Chaos.
I'd like to thank Jesus and the devil.
Chaos.
The devil played a big part.
And Krishna, the blue Jesus.
Yeah.
Chaos, destruction, disorder. Our work is done. You're listening to the Dark Star Effect. We'll be back in a minute with the gig guide and what's happening this week in the world of the Dark Star.
Break it down now.
God may save the Queen, but nothing will save the Dark Star Effect.
Welcome back.
It's not as good as me.
Another
Shut up.
Another email has just come in from a listener called Oversoul. You guys have less value than a homeless female dog.
Oh.
Keep up the good work.
We moved up in the world, guys.
Yes,
we moved up.
We are Z-grade celebrities. Oh, we hope. We wish one
Do you know
day
what I
to
think
be
about that comment that they
Z-grade
said?
celebrities. Next one. You guys are the reason there's fluoride in the gene pool. Yeah,
Sorry,
Ollie,
wow.
let's go to the gig guide, the Dark Star Effect. What's coming up this week on the gig guide, the little gig guide thing that we do? There's a piece of paper here with a list on. Somebody say something.
I'm actually having an operation this week.
Oh, what? And people can come and watch.
Yeah.
This is the gig guide.
How much
operation are you
How much
having?
does it cost to get in?
Well, you got to know some people.
Yeah. The bouncer won't let you in with those shoes on, Lyndon. Sorry, private operations tonight, young fella.
No, I'm having my
operation going on down there. Perhaps you'd be like to go down there.
Yeah, I'm having my celibacy removed. So. Yeah.
You're on a promise.
Yeah, well,
You are
Okay,
a
the
side
Sin
salad.
Bar. Tuesday nights, the Sin Bar.
Yes.
You are invited to a very, very special night at the Sin Bar. It's the mysterious Peter X's birthday bash.
Yeah, to tell
There'll
everyone.
be one of those,
16 again.
yes, there'll be one of those giant cards, and everyone is going to sign.
Well, he's a giant man, so he can actually read it.
Check out the Facebook page, and you'll be able to get the details. It is Tuesday night, Russell Street in the city. Go to the Facebook page, check out. If you're not already on it, go to Open Mic, or again, go www.darkstarentertainment.org, and you'll get all the details about attending the mysterious Peter X's birthday. Also, this Friday, Crown Casino, there's a function for the floods. Is
Yes,
that right?
hang on. I had the other one for Goo, so I'll just have
Well, let's do Goo first. Oh no, he's already lost that page.
I'm going to stab you in
If
a minute.
you go.
I'll see you in the car park, my friend. Yes, Summertime Goo is on, and it's also all proceeds proceeds go to the fundraising, I believe, for Queensland and a little bit to Victoria because we live here.
Yes.
And there's also a massive raffle with tickets to many of the shows at the Palace, the CDs from Dead Letter Circus, Deftones.
A massive chook.
Oh, yeah. It's actually a guy in a suit, but you can cut him up and eat him. It's quite good. There's also from, Guitar Village in Frankston, from She Had. There's also a 1 hour hula hoop lesson and a custom-made hula hoop.
1 hour what, sorry?
Hula hoop lesson.
Hula hoop lesson.
Yes, it's a big round thing that you put in your gyrate. Well, you were there when it came out.
I remember the hula hoop.
Yes, people still actually do it. And there's many CDs and merch being T-shirts and everything from a large-scale amount of bands being Full Scale, Blood Duster, Dreadnought, Subjective, Earth, Metal Unleashed, Pillow, 5-Star Prison Sale, 12-Foot Ninja, Frankenbach, and the list goes on. Everyone's a winner.
What time on Friday is that?
9 p.m. It starts at the Palace Theatre.
Okay, so you will be able to go to Crown Casino as well.
Yes.
So you're doing 2 shows on Friday now.
Oh, yes.
One being the fundraiser for the floods at Crown Casino.
Yes, which is called, where is this stupid thing on the Flood Relief.
Flood Relief.
Yes, a flood of laughs or something like that. The Jokers and myself and yourself are on.
Yes, I'll be on again. I'm also appearing next Monday at the Comics Lounge in the city.
North Melbourne.
North Melbourne. Errol Street. I think it's Errol Street in the city, where we will be filming a live TV show that will be featuring me.
Yes, the Floods of Laughter fundraiser, which is on Friday.
Floods of Laughter fundraiser. Yes. Also, just in case you're interested, your astrological sign has changed.
Star signs have changed.
Personalities will change.
Somebody looked at the sky and went, hang on a minute.
That looks like a dustbin.
Yes, there are now 13 astrological signs. They did that because they booted Pluto out of the galaxy and said, hang on, there's more space. There's room for another astrological sign.
So, what's your star sign changing to, Pete? Is it still the same? Still the same. Oh,
yeah, mine didn't change.
Apparently, I'm Aquarius and not Pisces now.
So, from being twins, you're now going to drown.
Basically.
One of your conjoined twins.
Instead of being two fish going.
I'm still split personalities.
Okay, you've been listening to the Dark Star Effect. Remember, dear listener, stay weird and remain safe. We'll see you again next week with our very special guest, Melissa Tuckett.